Well, most times when I'm asked that question, it deals specifically with legislation. What's the biggest thing you ever did in that respect? And there are quite a few, and I try not to select any. Perhaps illustrative was the major clean air bill that I was a principal supporter and author of in 1990. It was a very contentious bill, took years and years of effort and a very long legislative process, and I devoted a lot of my life to it. That probably in legislative terms was, I don't know if it was the most important, but it was the most comprehensive and major bill. Outside of that, I tend to talk about two things. First, my work in Northern Ireland. I spent a total of about 5 years, chaired 3 separate sets of proceedings. I wasn't there for 5 years nonstop, coming and going, and but for the most part I was there for long periods of time during that stretch. And we just, in the past month, have celebrated the 10th anniversary of the so-called Good Friday Agreement, the peace agreement, which resulted from one of the negotiations which I chaired. That was very significant. I like Northern Ireland. I like the people. I like the place. I still go there quite a bit. I serve as the Chancellor of the Queen's University in Northern Ireland, which is a large institution of higher learning there. And so that takes me back, and in other capacities I go back probably 3 or 4 times a year. And I like to take my children there I have young children, to give them some sense of what was important in my life. The other thing that I spend a lot of my time on and that I'm most proud of is when I left the Senate, I created a scholarship program for needy students from Maine. Started small. I got started in a funny way. I had raised money in preparation for re-election, and then I decided not to run. And so I wrote to every contributor, and I said, you can have your money back if you want it, but if you leave it with me, I'm going to use it for scholarships. And about half took the money back, and about half left it with me. That got us started, and I've since spent, that was 13 years ago, and I've spent a great deal of time in the intervening 13 years raising money. And we now provide a scholarship to a graduate from each public high school in Maine, 130 of them each year. So we have a lot of kids have gone through the process, and I spend a lot of time at it. And it's very heartening to see it, because I myself, as I mentioned earlier in the interview, I wasn't certain I was going to go to college. My parents had absolutely no money. My father wasn't working at the time. And I got a lot of help from a lot of people, some scholarship assistance, a lot of work effort. Bowdoin College, which I went to, a great institution to which I owe much of what I've been able to do in life. They helped me out with a lot of jobs, so I kind of worked 2, 3, 4 jobs all the time while I was in school. And it not only helped me get through school, but it taught me, I think, a good work ethic. So the scholarship fund means a lot to me. I meet with these students each year, and I see in a lot of them where I was at the time. Uncertain, insecure, don't really know what you're going to do with life, but there's a potential.